Okay.
All right, if this crowd could settle down, please. Thanks for being here. We are recording this, and we'll put it on Facebook and our YouTube page that we have for the village, where we've been posting other videos. But there are two microphones up directly underneath the camera. I know there's not many people in here, but if you're reporting or asking a question or doing something else, if you come up here, you won't be in the camera, but if you could say your name and then whatever comment, question you have, that way we can have all of that for the minutes. So not going to spend a whole lot of time on the meeting rules. We all know what they are. Just be nice. That's basically all of the rules. One of the things that we've talked about, that Karen had this great idea of, we should revisit some of the excellent things that have happened over the course of the year. So do you want to jump into the positives?
The positives. That'd be good. Oh, we already went past that. All right, the positives for this year. Year 2025, now I'm showing my age. As a community, we have made donations to charitable groups such as food banks and the Warming Center and, of course, Anchor House. We had several bands on the beaches that always have great turnouts and great bands. Thank you to the social committee. Been several golf cart parades. We had the best fireworks display we've had yet. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how we can continue to do that, because every year gets better than the last. Easter egg hunt, we had that, and that was a good time. The social committee also did a couple of spring and fall, mm-hmm. in which we'll come up with that. But anyway, those we've cleaned up and added to our parks thanks to volunteers. So we've moved forward in a lot of things this year.
And we've got pictures later on for the different groups, so just to illustrate some of that stuff that we have there. The financial report. So two things, one other thing before then. On the agenda it says Officer Manager Jane Smith. Jane couldn't be here today, so hopefully we'll have her scheduled to be at the next quarterly meeting. She is going to try to make most of our trustee meetings too, so if you come to one of those, then she should be present for that. The financial report, this is as of November 30, 2025, so some of these numbers have changed. But one of the things we thought was important, especially as we start looking at our financial situation in the village, is understanding that where we're at with things. So annual phase 1, 820 lots, we can count on approximately 820 lots paying their assessments. We have more lots than that, and we basically, as we're budgeting, we're looking at not having that money in a yearly budget, but when we go through our collection process, if we get it in 2 or 3 years, then it goes on that year's budget. But we have to look at it this way, as a loss in the year that we don't get it. So, and it is, and unfortunately there are some that have piled up quite a bit. But the numbers as of November 30th is we had 238 people who have not paid their assessments yet, which you guys can do the math on that. That's quite a bit, just for basic assessment. 27 of those people are over $2,000, so they've missed a number of different things. But we do have a procedure for collecting past due assessments, and we're following it. And that's something we all live here. We hate having to go that route, but it's also, we're looking at $60,000, $70,000 plus that is not being paid. So that hurts everybody. But letters have gone out. The warning letters. Lisa's sending out another round today, and then I have to double check the steps that we're on with it. But some people are going to start getting letters from our attorney shortly to let them know what they owe and how that they need to get it paid. So then moving on, budget projections. One of the things we asked months ago for the Finance Committee to do a zero-sum budget for us. One of the things that we've talked about for years is, and I was hearing this before I was a trustee, that we're in a deficit spending trend, that we are doing well year to year in the past because we had a lot of properties that we're selling, and we were getting an additional $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 or more a year in property sales. We don't have that now. We have 2 lots that are both listed at 12 grand a piece, so we can't count on that unfound money being there. So the Finance Committee has been looking at this for years. We've been talking about it with different board members for years, but we decided that we needed to make it very cut and dry and simple and explain to everybody that here's what we have coming in, here's what we have going out, and here's what's going to happen, where we're going to be at in a few years. So we asked Lisa, the village accountant, and the Finance Committee to go ahead and create for us the basic financial projection for the next 5 years. They each approached it a little differently. The Finance Committee gets down into the nitty-gritty with everything. So they pulled a lot of different pieces apart on that, which is great. We would like them over the course of the next few months to simplify that so that people can look at it and say, you know, here are the basic categories where we're spending money, here's where we're getting money, here's where we're at the end of the year. But we will have all those details on, like we always do. We're just trying to emphasize or highlight the fact that we're not heading in a good direction with this. Lisa, we asked her to just keep it as simple as possible. So Lisa's projections and the Finance Committee's projections will be on the website. They are drafts, and we're trying to make it very clear that these are drafts, that we consider them works in progress, and we'll continue looking at them over the course of the next several months. But we already found things today. Finance Committee gave us their stuff last week. Lisa gave us her stuff last week, and we looked at it. They've already found some things that they needed to update on their numbers on both sides. So those are going to be a constant work in progress, and we'll be updating people as we go along. The assumptions that were made by Lisa, and these are, you know, we're doing a projection, so we have to make some assumptions. 3% inflation on expenses. All the interest is entered as income in the phase 1 budget. Fees are going to remain at the current level, and road maintenance is going to stay at approximately $100,000 a year, give or take. That's one area where, you know, if we have a major issue, we may need to spend more money, or if we can stretch the thing out another year or so. But I will say, if you were at the annual meeting, that's something that we've been discussing for a long time. There was a thought that we should spend close to $400,000 to finish all the roads that still needed to be finished, but that would deplete our reserves, and we really didn't feel that was fiscally responsible for the board to make that decision to do that. So we're sticking with this and trying to identify the streets that need the most work as we go along. So this is Lisa's budgeting forecast, and I'm just going to say some of these numbers are already need to be updated, but if you see that she's looking at 2029, we will we're going to be spending more than we're bringing in. That's not to say that we're not doing that right now, because when she made this very simple budget put together, she looked at, I think we budgeted $15,000 for snow removal. Last year we spent well over $25,000 for that. So she wasn't guesstimating on those, she was looking at trend patterns. So hers actually doesn't look horrible for the next 2 years, but then you see where we get into that deficit issue with that. The Finance Committee, like I said, they dig down a lot deeper. This year they show us I'm going to say basically breaking even at 1,900 in the green for that. Next year, 12,000 in the hole. The year after that, 28,000. The year after that, 43,000, and then there's 60,000. So we weren't going to get into those details tonight. We just wanted to show the bottom line projections. And again, these documents will be on the website, so you can go through and look through all the details that the Finance Committee pulled together and see where they're saying things are going and coming from, and do the same for what Lisa put together. Let's see.
We were gonna hold questions to the end, but I think since there's such a large group
Yeah.
here, we can do it now.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So I'm going to ask a question, if you could go one slide back. When we look at the account ending balance, is that also include our reserves, or is this just our operating fund?
Operating fund.
Okay, so we still have reserves.
Right.
That was my question.
Yeah. Yeah, and our goal is to try to maintain those reserves. That's
Not a
our
bad
goal.
goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, my question is regarding the assumption on fees collected. Are you assuming we're going to be continuing to have problems collecting fees, or not?
I think we have to assume that we are. It's not, those numbers aren't significantly different from what's gone on in the past, if you look at it percentage-wise. So it has been an issue. I will say when I first came on the board, we had quite a few people who were in the hole by 10,000 or more, which is significant. And, you know, we had made a decision then to make sure that we cleared the boards of those as much as we could. So, you know, without getting into the details and the weeds, our attorney was involved we had 2 attorneys actually involved in that quite a bit to clear those out. But
These numbers are not always, Pat, I'll get you in just a second, come on up. But speaking of the deficits, people that are behind in payment, that's as of today, November.
yeah,
By April 1st, a lot of those people will have paid their back pay dues with interest fees because they want to use the lake. And if they're not paid up, they lose their amenity rights.
and that's another thing that we are sticking to. I don't think we've had too many that have slid through the cracks in the past, but I'm sure there have been some. But we have talked to the office staff that we need to keep all of that together. And if the person hasn't paid, they don't get amenity rights. Sorry, go ahead, Pat.
Just a clarification, I know you're dealing with the lawyer, sending letters, legal fees. I'm assuming that could go into liens on properties as well as collection
Yes.
agencies. Because I know that quite a few years ago, there was quite a problem with people not paying and other people being very empathetic and sympathetic and trying to excuse it. But that's how that would go, is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, and
And they get the legal fees too.
right. Yeah, so when
But
they
I
sent,
think what you sent here is accurate as well. They want to use the amenities.
they do, and we're not, we've made a decision that we can't give a lot of leeway on that. So I do know that in the past, we've had somebody call and say, I'll drop it off. I know I'm a week late, I'll drop it off in 2 weeks. Can I pick up my pass? Can I do? And we're just not gonna do that. We can't. And again, going back to the slides that will be on the website, if you look at, I'm gonna guesstimate, we're $75,000 to $80,000 behind on collections right now, based on those numbers. So that's not fair to the entire village to be in that situation. So the process basically is the warning letters from us, at least one of those letters says the next thing you get in 30 days is going to come from the attorney. When you get that, you're also going to have to pay legal fees to clear this off of the books. So if you're listening, please make sure you've paid your assessments and do it on time. Okay, so we wanted to do some committee updates, and I know, Pat, we didn't talk about the indenture stuff, but I'm just going to hit that real quick. We just wanted to do a final update from what we had done the last time, so that's all that is. So I don't know, Pat, if you wanted to say anything, you could. Otherwise, we'll go back to our committee, other updates. Construction committee, nothing new. We've got a lot of homes under construction right now. What I said earlier, we've sold almost all of the lots that the village owns, but 2 that are questionable to build on lots. And that we are seeing individuals who have sold their lots to builders as buildable. And, you know, I've talked to enough builders to know they can find a way to put a correct size home on a lot and make it work according to our guidelines. So we may continue seeing homes get put up on weird lots, but as long as they're meeting our guidelines, then we're letting them build. Right now, I think we have over 20 homes in one point of construction or another.
Do you know the year?
Pardon?
Do you know the number for the year of your homes?
I don't offhand. We could. I know Dina would have track of that, and but the other thing to think about with that, and we try to think about it, is that's 20 plus new families moving into the village just for those homes, and then we've got homes that are for sale. So, you know, we need to kick around ideas of how we can maintain the village culture and climate and keep a positive thing going on here. Anyway, moving on.
Well, I want to put in one quick plug. We need volunteers for the construction committee. We're down 1, so pretty much Sean is it and Dina in the office. So anybody that has experience and would like to help out with this, please give us a call.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I even added that at the end. Chris couldn't be here tonight. He's got to pick up Bex at the airport, but the fireworks were fantastic this year. He is probably not going to have nukes next year, but I wouldn't put anything past him. He's got big plans for it. So that was awesome, and I know they're continuing to try to raise funds as the year goes on for that.
Yeah, one thing we didn't mention, but you should have already had tickets by now if you're going, is they're doing a New Year's Eve dinner, and then there's going to be fireworks. So even if you don't go to the dinner, expect to hear some and see some fireworks on New Year's Eve. And
I think I'm saying this correctly. That's just going to be a break-even event.
Yeah,
we're not
that's
looking
correct.
at it as a fundraiser. We've been talking about ways we can try to get the community center used more, and that was one thing that came up, and it'll be a break-even affair. But I mean, we've joked for years that we ought to do a Super Bowl party here. Got TV and nice setup and all, but just some thoughts on that. The finance committee, we don't have members here for that, but we went through their basics, and their document will be on the website, so you can take a look at that. Kids Club, lots of stuff that went on this year. We have pictures up there of the Easter egg hunt and trunk or treat and all of that. So Sherry couldn't be here. She's got Killian at home. She did want me to announce that she is stepping down as chair for the Kids Club. That is another group that really needs a lot of volunteers, and it has been, we're grateful for people who have stepped up at the last minute to help out, but she has said that she will continue to assist with it, but she just can't be the chairperson for it anymore. So That's official as of now. So if you are interested in helping with the kids club, contact us and let us know. And Sherry will go through all of her notes with you and then happily turn it over. Do we have Pam here for the Parks Committee?
I think we do. Pam, would you like to come up and go along with these slides?
I'm just gonna let you guys do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
ahead.
we'll
Let
go-
Karen do it,
I'll-
because you did a lot of work.
Yeah, I'll go through the slides, and then Pam, if you have anything to add, then you can come up here.
Thanks.
Okay, so another golf tournament is in the books. The Incline Village Parks Committee thanks all of our sponsors, whole sponsors, food sponsors, beverage sponsors, and we especially thank all the volunteers who work so hard to make this event a reality. Please, when you're out shopping and using these businesses, tell them thank you for continuously supporting us through the years. This is the list of all of the 2025 whole sponsors and dinner sponsors. And it was just a great year. We made money. Improvements that are coming, Pam, already will be, what did you order the new?
I just ordered, for Walnut, we ordered a slide with a small climber attachment.
Okay, so that'd be going
So
to
that'll
Walnut
finish
Park.
out the playground area for Walnut Park.
Great. And then here's some pictures. Speaking of Walnut Park, here is some of what happened. We had the guys out there, volunteers, doing all this mulch spreading, and we've got the handicap ramp to get up in there, so make it more accessible for all residents.
And can you talk about how much work needed to be done for the drainage? at
Oh, for Walnut
That was
Park.
huge.
Yeah, we had a lot of drainage issues, and the village paid for that out of their money. And then all the rest of the improvements were paid out of money that we've raised on the Parks Committee. So that was the mulch, leveling it out, getting the swing sets ordered, and getting everything installed. So, number one, thank you for always supporting the golf tournament, because that is our big money maker. Other things the park did this year, we had a fishing fun day, and a lot of kids showed up, and in that part of that slide, you can see a little rock snake that's for painted rocks. We'd still like to see more of those added, and that's at Magnolia Park. Yeah, now we've got, coming up in February is the First Down, Get Down.
It's the night before Super Bowl.
Night before Super Bowl, so yeah, we will have a Super Bowl party here. the night
Pre-Super Bowl
before.
party.
The pre-Super Bowl party, that's right.
Doesn't matter, the Chiefs aren't in it, so.
And then Vicki Schramm was the contact for getting tickets for that. Oh, next slide is just talking about the golf tournament and where it's at. Next slide. This is a dome that originally was purchased to be put at Walnut Park, but we decided that it wasn't heavy duty enough for, public use, so it's more for a person's, own backyard. So it is for sale by the Parks Committee. Vicki Schramm has it at her house right now, and it is for sale. So anybody interested, please contact one of us. Make sure you get a nice Christmas present for your kids. Social Committee. You can't say enough about Social Committee. They work their butts off. They do the bands on the beach. They do fundraisers. It's getting harder and harder for them to get money for the bands on the beach. So again, we need to think of ways to make more money and keep the social spirit that we have, because that's part of what's so fun about living here in the
And
village.
Sue Conrad has taken that over.
Yeah, Amy has stepped down after many years of being the head, and Sue Conrad and a team with Judy Price and someone else, I'm sorry, I forget her name. Anyway, we've got that, so look for more details coming from the social committee as things progress. And then that's the next slide.
More
Oh.
events going on.
Speaking of which, volunteer opportunities, we have this, we get talked about it at every meeting. But we do have some things that we're thinking about for a community that involve your money, your dues. And the first one is the indenture committee that we did the voting change that didn't happen, that's still not a tabled item. There's still plenty of people that want to see it happen, but it didn't happen the way we did it this past year. So if anybody would like to form a committee and take that task on again, we'd be very happy to hear from you.
And sorry to interrupt,
That's
on
okay.
that, our new attorney has looked at the previous ballot measure. He said it looked fine, but he would do it different. He would change some of the wording around. So that's something we need to get from him. We'd like to see that from him. And then we've talked about, are there other things that should be updated on the indenture, another 60 trustees or something like that? No, we've talked about adding another two seats to the board as a possibility. But all of those are things to talk about in the future.
It is, and the biggest thing is just get out and vote. We mailed a ballot to everybody's house with a stamped return addressed envelope, and a lot of people just didn't care. And that's where the fails come in, is when it would have passed by a simple majority vote, but that's not the way the indenture is written. So we have to come up with the right percentage to make anything happen. Swimming pool contract, you've been hearing a lot of things for the last several years. People would like to see it to be open instead of having lifeguards and such as that. And we need to form another committee to review it all again so we can save money on the expenses of the pool and still make it available,
Safe, yeah.
you know, at the times that people want to use it. Dated entries, you want to address that?
Yeah, it sort of ties into the pool as well, where we're looking at the need to update our entries into the village. Part of the problem has been, for years, has been we don't have internet service at the gates, and an RFID card system would need internet at the gates. There's a workaround with that where they can put cell cards in the machines, and that would be updated. But we were thinking if we could get those ID cards, that could also be used as an entry to the pool, and that would be proof of residency that you would have that. But it's very speculative right now. Yeah, Pat.
What problem are you solving with that? What is the problem that's your solution to?
A lot of it would be just non-villagers roaming through, getting into the village, doing things that they shouldn't be doing. We've had
We would still have that because the gates would
Potentially.
still be open. So I'm just curious as to, it's a great solution,
Yeah.
but I don't know what the problem is you're trying to solve. To pay that kind of money, that's just, you know.
That is a lot of money.
It
You're
is,
right.
and it's definitely something. I mean, we've also, like I said, we were talking about using it as for the gate entry for the pool. It also came up that we should use it, if we did get it, use it on the boat ramp as well, because we do get a lot of outside boats sneaking in and using the lake.
People don't put the chain back up, so,
So again, the main thing to talk about is the gates, so. You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
That's a big expense if we're in a negative spend.
Realistically, and we've talked about this, that is not something that we see realistically happening for years, because there's so much that would be involved in it. But it's something to look at as a potential in the future. But
And there is potential for it. The way I see it is if we could get just a small version of it just for the pool, even the clubhouse, you know, when they rent it out, because so many times, oh, where's the key? I don't know how to get in, that kind of thing. And it can be coded separately, so, you know, it only opens that specific time that somebody's having a get-together. And the boat ramp, those
Yeah.
are really I think we could find a system for that isn't too terribly expensive.
And it's a cost, especially if the village is in a negative spend.
yeah, well, and
That's true.
that's, yeah, I mean, we haven't.
It's not a necessity.
No,
You're
and
right.
we haven't said this in stone yet. I mean, part of the reason for us looking at all the budget sheets is to try to figure out what we need to do. You know, do we need to freeze spending in some areas? Do we need to, what do we need to do to stretch this out? So part of what we've done was with the roads, and then we just need to continue looking as we go. Sorry. Go ahead.
So that brings us back to the other volunteer opportunities, which again is Kids Club and Construction Committee that we already spoke on.
Questions or comments? I know we've had that going on.
Either one of you, both committee members, have anything else you want to add for parks or anything? Pam?
I just want to say that for all the people that are watching this on YouTube and on the internet later, that our tickets are for sale on the Incline Village webpage. So if you're a hard-to-buy for Christmas person, you can always ask for tickets for the dance, and your non-Incline Village family members can go and buy you a ticket.
Anything else?
Not that I can think
So,
of.
no questions, no other comments. I
Yeah.
move we adjourn. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Is the list of buildable and non-buildable lots available somewhere?
The lots that are for sale right now are listed with Home Team.
Mhm.
They're on their active listing right now. And as far as I can remember, there's just two of them
Two of them at 12,000 and neither
at
are buildable.
12,000, and they're both listed as non-buildable, which again, I don't know why they're listed that way, but
No, I'm interested in not association-owned lots, just in general, lots that are out there, which ones are buildable and non-buildable?
Go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah.
there's another,
I'm sorry, I helped address this for the village before. So, the village doesn't establish buildable or non-buildable. They can do a deed restriction and have in the past for something that they know floods.
Mm-hmm.
And it would cause an issue for like one of our own properties, but other than that, I think what you're looking for is a list of vacant lots in the village. That's a question.
Okay, so I think you answered. The question is that there is no designation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was, thank you for jumping in
we
with
use that
that.
term all the time, but it's not an official term.
Right, and it really is, because you can take, honestly, you can take 3 different people to the same lot that have different qualifications and get a different response, whether it's buildable or not. And that's why it goes back to who's going to build on it for them
Right.
to present plans to construction.
So, and like Pam said, there have been lots in the past that have had deed restrictions on them because they were village owned and we were able to do that. But,
Well, and because of flooding on other people's
right.
property,
Mhm.
unfortunately, infrastructure.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And the 2 lots you said that are remaining with the association, I assume that's just the lots on this side of the lake?
Yeah, they're up for sale right now.
And there's more lots on the other side
Yeah.
of the lake that's not included in that too, that the
Right.
village owns. So that would have been a good distinction to make.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's just this side.
Right.
Who would have known?
That's a very good point.
Mhm. North side lots only. Anything else? I'm just gonna, my soapbox for a little bit. We need village participation in the meetings. We moved our annual meeting to the community center because a lot of people hated the idea of it being at the church, that it was too far to go to, blah, 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 blah. So I'm kind of calling you all out right now. We're next door. So the next quarterly meeting we have, show up, wave, say hi, sit down, listen, or just wave, say hi, and go. But be involved in the community. That's all. I said that with a smile.